Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Sim Talk. So guys, we are now in the month of May. A lot has happened so far. I don't know how you guys are doing. Has anyone out there got hay fever? I've got hay fever and I get it pretty bad. My eyes, my face might look a little bit different because of the pollen and the allergies and stuff. But not just a little sneeze here or there. My eyes are itching. Oh my goodness. I'm hoping that I'm coming out of it now. She hopes, because it's too much. But listen, I wasn't going to let that stop me from making content for you guys. That's how committed I am. Guys, I can now see that there's 158 subscribers. I just need to, guys, thank you so much. Thank you. Please don't forget to like. Please don't forget to comment if you want to. And please don't forget to subscribe and share my videos with others. I really, really would appreciate it. Okay, let's move forward now. So, guys, the interview I had with Kris Foster. Kris, nobody was ready. Nobody was you ready? Was you ready? Were you? Listen, I was interviewing, I wasn't ready. I tell you, the reflection that I had after that interview with Kris, I was still reflecting 48 hours after, probably still weeks after, to be fair. So Kris, if you're watching, thank you so much. You are a true inspiration, and you have reminded so many of us, as you said yourself, don't rule out any child. Don't rule out any person, full stop. But you see our children with additional needs, special needs, however people like to label our children. Do not try and keep them in a box. Do not try and say you will only achieve at this level, professional or no professional. Because Kris has set that example. The odds was stacked against him when professionals were like, he won't do this, he won't do that. My guy now is putting a deposit down for a second property. I don't think I'm even doing that. Well, I know I'm not doing that. So he's such an inspiration. Kris, thank you so much. And I can see that 3.1 thousand views. Well done. Well done. So guys, as I said, this channel, what's so great about this, you know, because I'm the one that's running it, of course. So director, producer, presenter, editor. I want it to be different. It's, as you can see right now, today, I have no one here. I'm not going to interview. I may interview myself, but you might think, oh, she needs help. But, you know, I have got interviews lined up. I've been able to interview an LSA, a learning support assistant from a special needs school. I might get that out in the next video. So maybe in the next 2 weeks or 4 weeks, we'll see. But yeah, I know there's so many parents out there that all have their own story. You have your own story. If anyone wants to get in touch, my email address is simsentalk@gmail.com. That's simsentalk@gmail.com. Brilliant. Okay, so it's just a quick video for you right now, because to be honest, with this hay fever, with me just being able to breathe, just about, I just wanted to just bring a quick message, and that really follows on from what Kris was talking about. So Kris was talking about how, if you remember, how some families didn't want to sit next to him. And guys, that really hurt, you know. I've not known Kris for very long, but he is such a lovely, warm-hearted, kind person. And isn't it sad to know that, okay, we're in 2022 now. it must have been a few years ago, well, yeah, a number of years ago that Kris had experienced that. But let's ask ourselves this question: has things really changed for the better? Now, I would like to think they have changed. You know, we seem to be more aware of things. We seem to be more inclusive to some extent. You now hear on the news when it's a certain awareness month or awareness week or awareness day, and you know, the presenter will go and interview a family. But I'm not so convinced. And we always have things like #BeKind, and the irony is the same people that are saying that we should be kind are the same people that represent the families that don't want to sit next to a disabled person or don't want to interact with a disabled person, or they'll look at the you know, non-disabled or typically developing person and not even acknowledge the person in the wheelchair. My whole point is, guys, we need to stop talking and start doing. I think it's really difficult to kind of digest some of what Kris has shared in this video, because as a parent of a child with additional needs, I want my son to be accepted in society. And when you hear stories like Kris, you think, whoa, this is not going to be an easy journey. And don't get me wrong, I've had my beautiful son for 8 years. I'm not completely blinded by what's happening in our society. But it just made me feel incredibly sad that, you know, Kris is someone's child, just like Callum is my child. And to know that he had gone to a place of worship, and I'm not just singling out the church, because I've spoken to other families and they have mentioned other places of worship. But let's just look across the whole board of society. All right, I don't just want to single it down to worship and faith and things like that. But you've got families that are actually thinking, I don't want to sit next to a disabled person. How sad is that? When you actually break it down and you actually reflect, how sad is that? I just think, listen, we need to be really reflective. We need to really think about, and I've said it in previous videos before, treat others how you want to be treated. Treat other people's children how you would like your own children to be treated if you have children. Okay? For me, I can't really get over the fact that a family would not want to sit next to someone because of their disability. What do you think we need to do, people? And you can write this in the comment section or email me, or, you know, if you see me, just give me some thoughts on it. What do we need to do? What more do we need to do to break down this prejudice? Because, in fact, I want to get in touch with a mum who had told me she took her son somewhere. I'm not going to say where because I'll leave that for her to share. But she took her son somewhere. She mentioned to this person, my son has autism and learning disability, and sometimes he might make noises. The leader was like, that's fine. Anyway, moments later, this mum and her son were asked to leave because the child or the young person came across too disruptive. And I'm just like, have we taken steps back where, you know, what was it, 40, 50, 60 years ago, when, probably longer, I'm not sure, I would have to check, disabled people, as Kris had mentioned to me, would be in an institution, wouldn't really be fully involved in society. Is this a society that's just tolerating people? society that's just tolerating people rather than genuinely caring, loving, and having an interest. I mean, a lot of you that may watch me, you may have a connection to disability, whether it's a family member or maybe it's a friend. But I just want you to really reflect on how we can look on ourselves and think that we can make sure that we are being kind and treating people with respect. I think we all need to kind of reflect on ways that we can kind of check ourselves, really. Like, we really need to check ourselves. How do we make sure we are being kind? How do we make sure this is beyond a sentence because it's trending at the moment, be kind, but then afterwards we might be mean to someone or we might ignore someone? And I guess this goes beyond disability, but because this is about disability, obviously my channel, it's just got me thinking, really. I really want this channel to be heading into areas that don't really get spoken about much. And there's times when it might get uncomfortable, but I think in order for us to address things, we need to bring things to the surface, and it might get uncomfortable, but then at least when things are aired out in the open, we can discuss and then move on, hopefully. So there's times when I've witnessed for myself other SEND families. It's gonna be a bit deep. Let's just get a bit deep here. Okay, I've even witnessed, as I said, other SEND families, other SEND parents kind of move away from another child with additional needs as if it's some sort of competition. I don't know. Listen, don't get me wrong. If it's a situation where someone may feel that a child with challenging behaviour might end up hurting them or hurting their child, then I understand that. You risk assess the situation. But sometimes it does feel like a competition, or almost like, well, yes, I have a child with additional needs, but they aren't as disabled or aren't as challenging as that child. Hey, listen, I don't want to upset anyone out there, but I'm just, what I'm trying to say, I'm not just trying to single out the people that don't have any disability or have any connections with others with a disability. I want us all to check ourselves, because I think at times we do forget, and we do sometimes think other people's situations are worse than us. And in some ways that can be really humbling, but in other ways that can also be a little bit like, well, their child is really disruptive and my child's only disruptive 2 days a week. Like, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Think about how you may come across to others. You may think they haven't noticed, but in Kris's case, he noticed. He knew the families that didn't want to be around him. But yeah, I really hope those families, or that family that chose not to sit next to Kris, I really hope that they come across that interview or come across his Instagram or all the other social media platforms that he's on, because do you know what? Kris represents our children in a way. And so that pediatrician, or that, let me not name, that professional that said your child will only be able to do this amount in life, continue to push, continue to do the best that you need to do for your children. Yes, at times our children can be very challenging. Yes, at times it could be like, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm doing. But don't give up, okay? When you want to give up, look at positive examples, yeah? I interviewed a positive example not so long ago. So guys, remember, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, but we're in this together. Take care.